Welcome to this recording of Live to 121. This is Dr. Justin Traveler, and what you're about to listen to was a live recording. So as I refer to days and things like that, just know that I am referring to whatever is happening at that very moment. And if you want more information, please follow or subscribe to us. We're on YouTube, Instagram, we've got a podcast, Facebook, website, all Live to 121. And our mission and purpose is to inspire everyone around us to want to live a longer, fuller life. But really, it's to live to 121, or at least make it feel that way. Meaning, you do what you love, and you love what you do. And we want everyone to feel young and healthy at whatever length of life they want to live. So enjoy the following recording. And also, if you have any questions or comments, please put them below and we'll respond quickly. Enjoy. All right, good morning, everybody. Happy Wednesday, happy hump day. Today we are going to be talking again about the Live to 121 Vibrating Foam Roller. And some of the uses that you can get from this. The Live to 121 Vibrating Foam Roller, we've got two. One of them's in this bag. One's called the Green Wave, okay? And the Green Wave does not dig quite as much. It's a little more gentle. If you live in the St. George area, you can come and kind of feel. If you go onto our website, go to live to, that's live to121.com. You can go and check those out. Really what it comes down to is, again, how much digging you think you have to do. If you're doing a lot more body work and don't need to do as much digging, then I would not suggest that you get the black dot. The black dot digs a little bit. Now this is what I'm going to be using today for what we're going to be showing. And today's exercise and rolling using the Live to 121 Vibrating Foam Roller, we're going to be working on the forearms, okay? Now that includes anything from tennis elbow to carpal tunnel, okay? So anything basically from the elbow down can be benefited from these treatments that I'm going to show right now. If you get any numbness or tingling down into the hands, especially if it's the entire hand. Now, if you're just feeling numbness or tingling in certain fingers, like if you just say, I only feel it in these two fingers or in these two fingers, then you can apply the treatments that we're going to do today, but I would either focus more on the neck. That sounds a little bit more like a nerve root problem. I would focus more on the neck, or you can do both. So go back, check out the Live to 121 on Facebook, but you'll have to go back into like months ago, or we put all of these videos on YouTube. So again, if you go to Live to 121 on YouTube and check it out, most of the time when I'm wearing this black shirt, if I wear this Live to 121 t-shirt, that means it's usually an exercise day. Now I sometimes will usually wear them on Fridays as well. So if you see me out walking around or something, don't look at those because they're probably my morning message, whereas these, if I have the t-shirt on, go check out the treatments there. Okay? So what we're going to do, if you have, again, any issues into the elbow down, now I'm not going to focus as much up into the tricep and bicep, into the upper arm. That will do another day. We're really focusing just on the forearm, and maybe it's because I've gotten like 3 patients this week with carpal tunnel, which is not as normal. We see a lot of carpal tunnel, but not 3. I mean, it's Wednesday, so I basically had a carpal tunnel patient each day. Usually we're getting more like lower backs and necks and things in here. But since we've had a lot of carpal tunnel and lower limb stuff, I wanted to show some of these exercises today. Now again, if you're going to focus on the lower limb, I would encourage you to get the black dot. If that's where, hi Wendy, good morning. I would focus more on the black dot as opposed to the green wave for this particular exercise. Now, I am not going to have the vibration going. The button is right here. If you've got it in the case, Both the green and the black come with the case. I usually keep mine in my case, but in this case I'm going to take it out. The button is right here. We are going to hit, now when you're doing that, you're going to turn it on. Usually I go as high as we can. I want to just preface this too. I've had a few patients, especially if you've got a few more birthdays on you. So if you're getting up there in years, you may want to drop it down a little bit. I've had a lot of patients having great success with using the vibrating foam roller, the Live to 121 vibrating foam roller. However, my older patients are telling me and giving me feedback that sometimes the fourth setting, the highest setting, is a little high. So they're dropping it down to 1 or 2. So keep that in mind. If it's really, really tender, or if it's really digging and sore, I would drop it down so that you're not quite as high. So the way we turn that on, you just hit it 1, 2, 3, 4. If you watch it, it's going to dance. Oh, and it shakes it shakes everything, right? So it's shaking. So I'm not going to have it on while I show this. But essentially what we're going to do and sorry, I'll put this video up. If you're seeing all the comments and stuff, this may block it out a little bit. So what you're going to do is, I like putting it on a surface. So I've got it on my desk here, okay? And what we do is you're going to start. Now usually we start distal to proximal. I know that helps with blood flow and lymphatics. I've just found that for me personally, I like starting at the elbow and then rolling it out. Now, on the lower part of the arm, that's easy. So you start here and really dig. With the vibration, it will start to move. And what I will do is I will start to move my wrist around, and you'll feel those muscles go across. So essentially, I've got the vibration going, and I'm moving my wrist, and I roll it out. So I'm basically rolling very slowly while I have that vibration going. And that really loosens. I did this one this morning and it felt so good because I do a lot of, trigger point muscle work. My forearms get really sore. So I basically rolled it out until you get to the wrist, okay? Now, once you get to the wrist, especially if you're having a lot of carpal tunnel issues, I would say hold it onto the carpal tunnel. You've got what's called a retinaculum. That's kind of a strap. That's why you get carpal tunnel. People will get carpal tunnel because that strap does not allow for a lot of extra movement. It just doesn't have a lot of flex to it. So as up here, you've got muscles that have a little bit of give. If you have inflammation into the wrist, then it just doesn't allow for a lot of space. Okay, so if you're having a lot of wrist stuff, you may want to drop the vibration down so that the vibration is not quite as much, but you hold it onto the wrist and you start to just go through ranges of motion. So I will usually flex up and down while that's vibrating, okay? And the other thing you can do is, again, find a dot. So you've got one of the dots, put it into the wrist and just shift a little from side to side. Make sure that feels good. If it's irritating that, you're increasing the inflammation and you may end up taking steps backwards. So make sure that the vibration, if it's really tender, I would just set it on there and barely go through any ranges of motion. But if you just are working on your ranges of motion, go back and forth and up and down. You can also flip it over and do it onto the back, but this part of the wrist tends to be a little more sensitive. So that's one where you may want to put the cover on, okay? And hold that onto the wrist and maybe just vibrate or lightly go through ranges of motion, okay? Now this is where it gets tricky. This is to get that forearm, you can easily apply pressure on the floor or on a desk and roll it out. When we get to this upper part, up into the pronator teres, which a lot of people, if you push on that upper muscle right there, it's tender. A lot of times when I'm doing muscle work on people, I'll push on that and it will just send them through the roof. What I suggest here is, as opposed to like twisting and setting it onto a surface onto the floor, I suggest holding your arm against your body and then applying pressure applying pressure with the Live to 121 vibrating foam roller. And while you're applying that pressure, again, go through your ranges of motion and roll it slowly across all those tendons, again, until you get to the wrist. Now this one, again, you're setting it on top. It may be a little more sensitive. So anytime you're pushing on that upper arm. The upper arm is just easier if you hold it against the arm. And I find that I'll kind of do my trigger point work. So I'll find, again, one of these black dots, and I'll push it into that pronator, into that tight muscle, and sometimes just let it dig for a minute without going through any range of motion. But I do find that when you're pushing, if you hold that out and then go through the range of motion, that really helps free up the tendons a lot, okay? Now, we really don't have to worry on the arm as much about the other sides. It's really a flexion and extension. So the two sides of the arm are what I usually focus on with the Live to 121 Vibrating Foam Roller. Again, go into the joints, and you can, even on the elbow, go through ranges of motion, or set it down, go through ranges of motion. But I find that I get the biggest bang for my buck if I roll it out and do my ranges of motion from the wrist, okay? Usually with those, I will repeat that roll. So I'll do each side. I'll roll from the elbow, roll it as I'm going through my ranges of motion and just hitting those tender spots. And I'll usually hit that roll maybe 3 times, okay? And after you've done the 3 times, then you flip it over, push it into the forearm, roll it slowly, and again, hit that about 3 times. Go through the ranges of motion. Listen to your body, okay? If it's hurting a lot, I mean, this is going to be a tender one, but if it's hurting a lot, you may be going backwards. So you want some tension. You want it to feel like you're really digging in and releasing that, but just let the vibration do most of the work. That's what's nice about this. With the Live to 121 Vibrating Foam Roller, you don't have to dig in and hurt it too much. You can let the vibration helps disrupt the connection between the musculoskeletal and the neurological, okay? So by using that vibration, you can really get a lot more bang for your buck without causing as much tissue destruction, so you're not going to inflame it quite as much. There are times where we've got to get that inflammation and tissue destruction just to break up those adhesions, but with the vibration, you just don't have to hit it quite as hard, okay? It's a lot of information that for just the forearm. Go out, give it a try. If you, again, are interested in the Live to 121 Vibrating Foam Roller, we've got them here at the office if you're in the St. George area. Right now, we are we're taking it month by month, but right now, where things are kind of tough, people are getting hit with this COVID-19, business is a little rough, we are still doing our 20% off. So if you come to the office, we're at 1224 South River Road. Come get either a black dot or the green wave. If you don't live in the St. George area, which I see a lot of people are not in this area, go on to live to121.com, click on the products, okay, and type in code 202020. That's 202020. That will get you your 20% off, free shipping. Go and check it out. It's a great product. We've had tons of success with it. If you have any issues, then contact us. We just want you to be happy with the product and get the results that you may have been missing out on. Okay? All right, guys. It's a Wednesday, treatment day, so not as much inspiration, but hopefully you're inspired by us. The Live to 121 is to help you to live your longest, fullest, happiest life. That will only happen if you feel good. And that's what we want to do with the Vibrating Foam Roller. We want you to feel good. Okay, guys, have a happy hump day, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.